Right now, though, let's get the latest on northbound Interstate 5 at Laguna. It is not good news. Jeff Maher is live on the scene. Jeff?
Yeah, good morning, Melissa. It's a huge mess out here. As we've been reporting, I-5 Northbound closed for a second day in a row. Of course, this accident is much, much bigger. So they have it shut down at Laguna, and the good news is they have this utility truck upright now. This was on its side for most of the morning, ever since this crash happened around 4 this morning. Now, this utility truck that you're looking at is used to service Caterpillar vehicles like tractors, construction equipment, that kind of thing. So it was filled with diesel all the way to the top. It flipped over, and about a fourth of that diesel fuel spilled onto the freeway. They decided to upright it with 3/4 of it full. So they've made one step forward in getting this huge mess cleaned up. And just to get you up to speed on what happened here, there was a big rig heading northbound on I-5. You're looking at it there. I believe it's based out of Modesto. CHP hasn't told me what they were hauling, but they believe that it was empty. That driver experienced a flat tire, lost control, hit the center divide, and apparently that driver decided to start coning off his big rig in the middle of the freeway. So that utility vehicle that is now upright was coming along and slammed right into it. Both drivers, it's my understanding, have been taken to the hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries. We're hoping to get a briefing on that from CHP shortly. If there's any good news to this at all, it's that both vehicles are upright, and one is connected to the tow truck, another is about to be, so they can get that out of here. But as we saw yesterday, it takes a long time to clean up all of the liquids, the grease, the diesel, the oil that is spilled as a result of this, because it wasn't just the diesel fuel in here. There's also a huge drum of grease further down the way that spilled. In fact, walking across the freeway, I almost lost my footing and fell because it's so slick. So you know that Caltrans is going to come through here. They're going to have to lay down the sand. They're going to have to bring in the sweepers. You're looking at hours and hours before this opens up. And I can only imagine what the traffic impact is further south of us past Laguna. And for more on that, we're going to send it back to Melissa Crowley.
Jeff, thanks very much. So what a mess for poor folks trying to head out of Elk Grove. Northbound 5 still completely closed. Appreciate that. A cleanup underway. Jeff, any estimated time on opening up some of those lanes?
They don't have an ETA yet, but just based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like they may have this cleaned up quicker than initially expected. Now, first, I want to show you the cause of this whole mess. Right here behind me, that flat tire on this big rig. The driver had a flat tire, crashed into the concrete barrier, and instead of pulling off to the side of the highway, he started setting up cones around his big rig. That's when a utility vehicle came down the highway, crashing into it and spilling diesel fuel along with oil and grease all over I-5, causing this all-out closure at Laguna. Now you're seeing the street sweeper process going on. The good news is that they are doing this simultaneously while removing the wreckage. What we saw yesterday is one came after the other, and it resulted in a pretty long closure. So I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe a little more than that. We'll see. We'll send it back to you guys.